Yeah,
It's
I don't
upset
know.
potential.
I'm starting to believe in this Loud team, man. They
Do
you
it.
know,
What? Aspas' Yoru is dog on map 3. It's dog.
I would personally.
Fala galera, tudo bem com vocês? Na última segunda rolou mais um episódio do Plat Chat e os casters gringos comentaram sobre a primeira rodada do VST Américas e trouxemos aqui legendado pra vocês a análise deles dos times brasileiros. Então já deixa seu like nesse vídeo, confere se tá inscrito aqui no canal e se liga nesse recado bem rápido. Quer ter a chance de ganhar um PC Gamer ou 15 mil reais no Pix? Você pode participar por apenas 15 centavos, além de prêmios instantâneos de 100 reais no Pix, que fazem o prêmio total chegar a 25 mil reais. O sorteio vai acontecer dia 8/8 e é totalmente regulamentado pela Loteria Federal. O link vai estar aqui na descrição.
Yeah, I don't
upset
know.
potential.
I'm starting to believe in this Loud team, man. They, last week, I remember you said something, Josh, when I just was speaking about the firepower on the team, and you were like, they had that in stage 1 and they still lost everything. And that's very true and a very good point. But also, it feels like they have even more firepower now. It feels like they're shooting even crazier with this lineup than they did with the previous one. But also, there was some level of what felt like an odd synchronicity between this amalgamation of players that it doesn't seem like it should exist with, but yet it did. And you still have, I mean, Luke Show is going to finish this year as one of the easily top 10 players in Americas of 2025. I mean, easily. He's so consistent. He's had one map where he's gone negative so far. He went -2 on one map against EG. Everything else, he's been like +8 on every single map. It's fucking
He's only played
crazy.
4 matches, I think, right? But
Yeah, he's played 12 maps total.
But his average rating is like 1.2 or something. I can't remember exactly what it
it's
is. But
unbelievable.
He's incredible.
Yeah, he finished stage 1. His average rating was 1.23, and he had the highest kills per round in the league at 0.96. Like, his stats were fucking crazy for the end of stage 1. He's so consistent. It's insane.
I mean, he's clearly the rookie of the year if you don't care about sample size or playing in big matches. But that is quite important. So then
Wait, who else are you talking about then?
Well, what do you mean?
Are you talking globally, like Kayak or something?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, globally, not just Americas. I mean, globally, you've got like Kayak, you've got Cushy, you've got like tons of people, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Maybe
I hear
Zeus
you,
or some others. But when you're looking at like actually who's just put up the best numbers in the matches they've played, it's Luke Shaw by a mile. He just hasn't played a ton of them. But I did leave this game a bit baffled as to how they've made this work, frankly, because it just. Everything that I was hearing about Loud and the shifts and the language setup made me think that this was going to be very difficult for them to look good. And yet, if you had told me that Robbie was fluent in Portuguese and they were coming all in Portuguese, I would have believed it based on how they were playing. It didn't actually look like a really dysfunctional team at all.
No, I think you couldn't tell. I think you actually couldn't tell because, especially like if he dies and they just switch to Portuguese in the mid round, it's just other people making calls. And I think when you have a system where everyone's allowed to make a decision and it's just like we all just stick to whatever the first is, then sometimes it doesn't really matter about that as long as everyone has an understanding of the original call at the beginning and you have that implemented. Dude, the firepower's too good to this team. They're one of those teams right now that you don't want to play. Because everyone thinks you're going to lose, and their firepower is mental. Like they've got 3 really strong aimers.
They're getting doubted too, in Verdi as well. I feel like people when they see Cholos as a challengers team, because they're Latin America North, which historically has always been the worst of the Latin North and South. You see the score of like the 19 games that they won, and they're still kind of questioning him and how good the team actually is. Because we've always had that of like teams in the North actually being really good, but when they face other teams, they're not that good. But I think it's great that he was able to prove himself. This guy just has such a passion to like show that it's not just a Latin American North team. It's like a thing that he can only do there. Like he can do it internationally. Even that tweet that he posted at the end, he was like, Brazil, are you still doubting me? Because he's so confident. He's been waiting for this moment for so long.
2G. They are back with Spike. Spike is now 18, playing for them, putting up good performances as you'd expect, because this is the guy that the team was kind of built around originally. It's been unfortunate that we had to watch half a year of 2G playing without this guy, because very important to the team identity. Played against Evil Geniuses, who did come away with the victory, but I think showcased that 2G are not just a joke team that everybody's going to be able to get a free win against, as it kind of felt like a bit earlier on, despite the fact they actually didn't even go winless. They beat Loud. But yeah, this was fairly competitive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like finally got to watch 2G from the Ascension tournament in the league.
Yeah.
In that they had Spike, but also what added a layer to their play at Ascension that we haven't gotten to see is not just that Spike offers an extremely high level Neon, but it's that he can also switch over to the Initiators, is excellent there, and then Silence picks up the other duelists and goes crazy. Silence has not had really destructive duelist performances on this team without Spike, and now that he's back, he's having an insane performance on Jet. Like, that's just so reminiscent of what was happening at that tournament. It was just one or the other. Whoever was on Duelist was going to go crazy on that map, and Spike's supportive, being on the supportive role on Initiator, but still playing with a lot of confidence and willingness to take fights, was so crucial to that run. And so that element is back too. It just is too valuable for this team, was too valuable for this team, and the difference he's made is remarkable.
Yeah, I kind of want to see them lean into a double duelist a little bit, but I know that they're very Neon breach pilled, which can work if your Neon is as good as Spike. So I'm not like super mad against it, but I think there's definitely stuff that could work a little bit better for them. Honestly, here, if I'm 2G and I'm in the team, I would have gone back from this best of 3 and been like, we should have won 2-0. I think they had a really good chance on Lotus. They started both halves 5-1 down, and they managed to get it to 13-11. So I don't know. I would definitely look at that. I feel like some of the individuals were showing a lot of confidence. LZ especially on defense of
LZ had
Lotus.
2 huge rounds on Lotus where he ripped them apart. Yeah, it was rounds 21 and 22.
Yeah,
I think it was. So, and EG did all the right stuff in order to put pressure on him and re-clear rubble, and he just rolls 2 of them, like both times. It was, he was
very confident. He was very, very confident. Yeah, I think you could definitely, if you were 2G, I think you can look at this and be like, oh, we should have won 2-0 here. I feel, dude, I'm not dreading watching their games anymore, so that's cool. Like, they can upset people.
Ascent, the 13-1 loss for MIBR. So there's a round where Kesnit, I think he aces in one of the rounds, doesn't he? Oh no, he gets a 4K.
He gets a 4K for sure.
So maybe that was round 11 because it was round 11 because he also won a 1v3.
Yeah.
And the way that he wins it, he gets in onto site, and Verno's cowering in the corner while Artazine is like bunny hopping his way into a one-way smoke in hell. They're both trying to hide from the player rather than trying to set anything aggressive up. And they both just give Kesnit the easiest 1v3. It's like Kesnit had spec'd into Aura. He's building out his character, and he's actually applying a debuff on the people that he's playing against based on like fear, like an actual fear statistic that was out to play here. I thought it was, when we had watched MIBR on map 1 actually play pretty decently, I was like, all right, they've rebounded after the Toronto loss. Like, they're feeling okay. This round, I mean, what? They hear a footstep in close mid. Nobody investigates. Must have been the wind. Must have been the wind. And then suddenly they peek and they fucking all die. Well, how are you hearing a footstep in close mid and you're not trying to investigate it at all? Like actual fucking Metal Gear Solid guards. They have an exclamation mark above their heads and then they're like, can't have been anything. Must have been the wind. And then Kesnet wins the 1v3 off the back of this round, and the manner in which he's done it, it's just astonishing, man.
The
I'm just
drone at
thinking
the
about
end was
MIBR
crazy.
being MIBR were hands down the number 3 team in Americas this year. I mean, they're not.
It's a fall off at the moment, yeah.
What the fuck
I
is going
would-
on
I'm-
here? What the fuck is this?
It's not perfect play. You're right, Josh.
I forget that
I
he sends
do
out.
I do
And
agree.
maybe one-off rounds
I-
like that, which are like some of the worst Valorant I've ever seen, have just polluted my mind. And maybe because I do think that the way that Kesnet and Dante were kind of like ping-ponging pressure off each other, and Dante was playing Kesnet into positions, was pretty cool in some of these spots.
Yeah, it was great.
I fucked
I
with
liked
that.
it. I liked
But
it.
goddamn, like, do it. What?
I-
Aspas' Yoru is dog on map 3. It's
I
dog.
I would personally also just like to raise the point of, and maybe I am too hyper fixated on this at the moment, but picking Ascent and you're running the old default
default.
comp in 2025, I just can't get behind it anymore. We have progressed as a society. This is an opportunity. This is a situation where you can't reject modernity and embrace tradition. You have to reject tradition and embrace modernity on this map. I think it's just over for that comp. Yoru
crazy that
is
we said
so
that
strong on Ascent at the moment. Like, I think you got to be. I don't know. I would just much rather see the double Senti or a double Duelist at this point if I'm watching Ascent versus that comp.
Yeah, I actually came away feeling pretty good about like both teams, especially Crew. Like I think again, I agree with you. Dryad's probably one of the biggest hard carries I've seen from Kesnet. Maybe in like the last year. It's definitely been like he's carried games, but it wasn't like as hard as this one, especially on Haven as well. But I didn't feel too bad about MIBR. I'm definitely not as down as other people. I think when I look at their Haven, because if you look at this Haven, right? Okay, but the only thing to fix on this Haven is the only good macro that Aspas had with Yoru was the pistol round, because it's a set pistol round. So if they actually get his macro good on defense, then I think he's going to be so fine. They lost double pistol. They could have won this.
But by
don't
macro,
agree.
you mean everything to do with positioning,
He's using Yoru
understanding
like
the
a
map.
jet. He's using Yoru like a jet. He's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like
but-
fast rotating.
But wouldn't you say that's pretty like core, fundamental? Like takes
No,
a
but you-
while to.
Nah, you can fix that in a week, dude. It's the same. It's the same as like Paper X's something's understanding of it.
The vibes that I'm getting, and people don't like when I talk about the vibes that I get from teams, but the vibes that I'm getting here is just, like, okay, you know what how I'm gonna word this is, it's not my view on this. It's like what I've seen people talk.
Dryad,
What-
you're safe.
Dryad trying to
He got
avoid-
Yeah,
cut.
okay.
He's not in the league anymore. You're safe. You're safe.
the
It's
people
not an
have been
MIBR, not in
saying-
the league.
The people
Yeah.
have been saying that the vibes are not great in MIBR, and I think you guys have seen that too. Everybody has been talking about it. It comes from, the way that they're celebrating, or they're like, whatever after they lose, and it also comes from people's like players' parents, like replying on Twitter and saying
Yeah.
things like, "There's
Man, that was weird.
something going on,"
Sick.
and I'm
Wait,
getting the
what?
same vibe
What did I miss?
that I
You don't know
got
that one?
in
No.
like when Lev was really struggling, like that. That's kind of
Yeah.
what the
It does
vibe
feel
is
like
right
that.
now.
Well, the most recent parent on Twitter thing
Oh, no.
was
Take
what was
their
it?
phones away. Leave it to the
somebody-
children. Leave it to the
Somebody
youth,
saying,
please.
well, it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't as bad as like calling text a traffic cone, but it was somebody on MIBR was someone in the chat's going to correct us in a moment. Someone in MIBR said something like, "We didn't get very much time to prep because everyone was traveling," or something like that. And then one of the parents was like, "Oh yeah, classic," like just kind of digging in on it rather than being supportive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Rather than
I
saying
think-
we'll come back stronger next week.
yeah.
Give
But whenever
you
you
a
get a
standard.
parent acting like that, the parent is just a reflection of how the player has vented to them. Do you know what I mean? The parent is just a mirror reflecting that back into the world. in all likelihood, that's just. Yeah, I think it's crazy. By the way, I don't know if you ever would have done this, Sliggy, but I was talking to some of the talent. MIBR went on a break after Toronto, and I was talking to some of the other talent, and then they were like, "Well, yeah, like, you know, it resets the mental, that kind of thing." I view it as, do you know the advice that married couples get, where they're like, never go to bed angry with each other? Like you want to have some level of resolution, or at least some feeling of like a positive direction before you go on the break. Yeah. Because if you go on a break when you're fucking tilted, you're gonna keep that tilt the whole time. And then when you come back, all you're gonna be thinking is, "Fuck me, back to the tilt mill, are we?"
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's when, like, especially when the vibes aren't good. I think if you take a break and the vibes aren't good, I wouldn't know that, man. My team weren't allowed to take a break. You're working every hour.
Back to the dungeon.
This is
why Sliggy games, bro. You ain't going on holiday.
This is why Sliggy thinks he can teach Aspas Yoru in 1 week, is because he would have it penned in front of a computer 24/7.
I do want to raise my tangible concern right now with MIBR as it stands midway through the year. Earlier in the year, when the meta was not as developed, or where we were more hard stuck in Tejo, they were doing all right. But now that things are shifting into this heavy double duelist direction, or a lot of double Senti with Chamber coming back, or double controller even, do they have the personnel to run these comps? I feel like they don't believe they do. So they're trying to stick to things that have worked for them traditionally, but are not operating as well as they can for other teams as it does for them.
But wasn't this Haven them trying to do it? Like,
yes, and I think that's why I'm a little concerned. Like, and I don't think that Aspas is like hard stuck in his current state of Yoru. I do think a lot of the things could be adjusted.
It was his first game ever with Yoru.
He has been grinding it a lot. I remember seeing people posting that he's played a ton of games of Yoru in ranked, was just spamming it
since
on
stage
every
1.
map.
He's been trying to.
Yeah. And
it's a bad first showing though.
That feels pretty necessary at this point. And we've seen Artzin, when he's played Raze, he's looked really good on the duelist. He had some solid moments on ISO. He was, effective for sure at points, but was never really like taking the game over. And Corrode, cool. We can get away with like Aspas playing Raze there. I don't hate what they did with the double duelists and Artzin playing Yoru. But then it's the same on Ascent. Like they're not going to be running double duelists there, surely. I mean, unless I guess you want Artzin to play Yoru there. No one on this team who's playing Chamber if they want to do that. It just all feels awkward in that players. It's like, could they run a double duelist here? Yes, but are the two players they have going to be at their best playing those particular duelists? I don't know. It just feels a little awkward for them in that way.
I agree with what you're saying, but I mean Jet's so dead now, really, especially like most maps, especially if Sunset's a good example. I think EG played it and it just looked pointless. That I think your Jet player has to learn Yoru at one point, and you have to take that dip to learn it to then go back up. And they are a little bit late to it, but I think enough footage is out there that you should be able to understand. Like, you don't have to work out how to play Yoru anymore. There is at least 4 teams that play Yoru on defense very well. I say at least 4 teams. There is literally maybe 3 teams that are playing it like really well. 3, 4. And dude, the footage is out there. You can learn it. It's not like you can just steal stuff. I think, but I do agree with what you're saying. Like, who plays you want Artzin to play the second duelist, but I think he can, if he's kind of going fearless into sides. So if we're comparing it to Crew, and he's being more of the Dante, and then Kesnet can kind of be similar to Aspas of like second entry, it should work pretty well. But I get your concerns.
Split, when they did the double duelist, they look great. And then, but MIBR is just not really the team to experiment or like try new things. They've never been. I mean, yeah, sure, you can try little things with the Aspas and the Yoru, but that's a bit of like, yeah, you are supposed to be doing that. I mean, maybe for quite some time. He gets away with it because he's Aspas and he's great. But also, yeah, I feel like something that MIBR has always been missing is just trying things like that a bit more, especially understanding that you're not just copy pasting what everybody else is doing, but understanding what actually works for the team.